Remember this portion of the story of God as it is written in the book we love, Matthew chapter 2, verse 1 through 12, and verses 16 through 18, from the Inclusive Bible translation. After Jesus' birth, which happened in Bethlehem of Judea, during the reign of Herod, astrologers from the east arrived in Jerusalem and asked, "Where is the newborn ruler of the Jews? We observed his star at its rising and have come to pay homage." At this news, Herod became greatly disturbed, as did all of Jerusalem. Summoning all the chief priests, all the religious scholars of the people, he asked them where the Messiah was to be born. "In Bethlehem of Judea," they informed him. "Here's what the prophet has written. And you, Bethlehem, land of Judah, are by no means least among the leaders of Judah, since you will come a ruler who is to shepherd my people Israel." Herod called the astrologers aside and found out from them the exact time of the star's appearance. Then he sent them to Bethlehem, and having instructed them, "Go and get detailed information about the child. When you have found him, report back to me, so that I may go and offer homage too." After their audience with the ruler, they set out. The star which they had observed at its rising went ahead of them until it came to a standstill over the place where the child lay. They were overjoyed at seeing the star, and upon entering the house, found the child with Mary his mother. They prostrated themselves and paid homage. Then they opened their coffers and presented the child with gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. They were warned in a dream not to return to Herod, so they went back to their own country by another route. Herod became furious when he realized that the astrologers had outwitted him. He gave orders to kill all the male children that were 2 years old and younger living and around Bethlehem. The age of the children was based on the date Herod had learned from the astrologers. Then what was spoken through the prophet Jeremiah was fulfilled. A voice was heard in Ramah, sobbing and lamenting loudly. It was Rachel, weeping for her children. She refused to be consoled, for they were no more. This is the word of God for the entire world. Thanks be to God. Today's sermon will begin with a 15-minute film.
I just told you what you just played. That's a B natural. E natural.
No, that's an E flat. Oh!
No way. E flat. Oh my gosh. The timbre of this thing is not even close to a piano. E flat.
Yep.
I met Larry when I walked in my first choir class, shook his hand and knew he was my professor that I was going to see 5 times a week for an hour and a half for the next 4 years.
So what I want to do is I want the intro of our documentary to be you saying, "There's some oars in this house."
Who we were to each other was teacher and student.
Entice them
do.
with a beginning that is culturally relevant. There's some oars in this house and interesting.
And then that evolved into friends.
Suddenly it's like the most epic drone shot ever. Oh my God, are those 2 hot guys about to die? And people will be like, what is this? What am I about to watch? So people will be hooked by that point.
They will. This is so exciting.
Through that friendship and through keeping in touch, I realized that he still had so much more to teach me.
And my idea was that you sing the WAP chorus.
To me, a mentor is someone whose life you hope to emulate.
There's some oars in this house. There's some oars.
No. You have to imagine you're saying the word.
Whether it's their values or their job.
No.
But or.
Yes, sir. There's some oars in this house.
70% more R.
And for me, Larry is my mentor.
There's some oars in this house. There's some oars in this house.
That's really good, Larry. You nailed it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys see the vision here? Well, my name is Larry Edwards, and I'm on my first Whitewater River rafting expedition.
It doesn't matter. I just want the planes in the background. Now twirl, 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 twirl.
Oh my gosh, everybody's outgoing. Maybe we probably are bigger than life, all of us.
You're getting Olive Dean right now.
I know.
And if you get his butt like that, then we won't look good.
Well, I think we all know why we're here. Why we've been asked to go with Mikah. To reconnect with the journeys that we've had and the people who have been in our lives who have been important to us. And I know that he labels me as a mentor for him. I don't even totally understand it. All I did was love this guy and tell him it's all going to be okay.
I didn't have an unhappy childhood, but I certainly didn't have like a totally free childhood where I just like felt I could be whoever I wanted to be.
It was a year ago.
My dad was a campus pastor, and my dad won the award for being the best Lutheran campus pastor in America. When you're the youngest child of the award-winning best Lutheran campus pastor in America, you have a lot of pressure to be the perfect pastor's kid. I thought my only options were to grow up and die of AIDS or grow up and be a drag queen, and that's what it meant to be gay.
Every morning I'd wake up and still be thinking gay thoughts, and I think, well, I guess I didn't pray hard enough. And if I just prayed harder, and if I was just more faithful and more obedient and more perfect, and at some point you just think, well, God gave up on me, or I'm so horrible and sinful that even God can't redeem what I am.
So my dad, Larry, had esophageal cancer from diagnosis to death for about 3 years. My last conversation with him, I remember him saying, like, so what's next for you? Is it the University of Memphis? And I said, yeah, I got a full tuition scholarship. I didn't meet an openly gay adult until I went away from my hometown to college, and that first openly gay adult was Larry. He was my college choir director, so well respected in the community, living the life that everyone told me couldn't happen if I was gay. And it just was earth-shattering, and eventually allowed me to come out myself.
Micah, I could tell he was just scared to death, and I was like, what is going on? And he sat us down on the couch and just basically opened up, and I kind of tear up just thinking about it because he just cried for like 4 hours, and you just feel his pain. And so we just listened to him.
Every time someone comes out openly as a gay person, we take a step forward. Every time. It's going to be scary, but it's going to move us forward. Every single time.
This is only my 3rd camping trip and my 1st rafting trip. I watched the video, feet up, relax back. I'll take care.
So we are on a 4-night rafting trip through Desolation Canyon. It's beautiful.
Well, I'm surprised Micah hasn't begun singing yet.
Larry Conductor, he's a badass mother trucker.
Most people sing on this group, so probably have some interesting harmonies.
Though he's tried many times to get me to go on these rafting trips, I wasn't sure initially why he wanted me to go with him.
Larry, on your back, legs in the air.
No, the river's running uphill here.
Larry, give me a hand. You're here.
I'm fucked. I'm at this kind of the last chapter of my life, maybe, and I've been struggling with that. Elbow, wrist. Yes, got it. And Mike is helping me. He asked me, Larry, what will make you happy? My whole goal is to be making other people successful. I got to figure this out. And I think Mikey can help me figure this out still.
I'm going to lay down.
Should we do that interest again, one?
Gonna study more. Oh, it's jazzy.
Okay, what's the other one? We'll figure out the other one.
Okay, we're gonna go.
Okay, we gotta go.
Thank you.
Okay, break. If you haven't been here, it's like taking pictures of this is just silly because it's just impossible to grasp what an amazing place this is.
Never losing eyes with Larry. Oh my God. Trying to go walking in a mall.
These river trips with queer people are extremely special because it feels so much safer. You can be yourself. You don't have to put up an act. You don't have to hold back.
I think the reason a place like this is beneficial is it's not our real world. Only in a place like this, I think, can we really just let go of these things. Everything's happening and Michael's going, right, hard right, no, left. And I don't know, I just started laughing at this. I just was paddling. Adrenaline like crazy, Not 1 second of fear, just adrenaline. Very fun. Everybody's got to do this. I'm hungry right now. Let's go get some lunch.
Being in nature just is always transformative. To be here with all of these people, you say goodbye to the stressors of the world.
I feel like coming out to nature, it's a safe place to go, letting myself be free and open.
What I love is that we're 5 gay men out here in nature together, and we get to feel safe and free of human judgment.
And 1, 2, 3, smile up. Here we are in beautiful Desolation Canyon, presenting for your entertainment the River Rats singing.
Down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside, gonna lay down my burden.
There's a lot of obstacles in front of us. Losing jobs and losing friends. There are still people so discouraged and so despondent and so attacked. We're scared about that and broken because of that. This movement that we're seeing of anti-gay, these people, I don't know that they don't even want to see it, but they can't see it. I just keep forgetting that people are blind.
Well, and who came out here at the youngest age? I was almost 22. I was 21.
27.
27.
31.
How old?
21.
32.
Okay, so that means at minimum, we spent 21 years of our lives putting up a wall to protect ourselves. And it's just hard to break down that wall.
Being authentic is important because authenticity brings change. You have to allow yourself to be open and be okay with being broken and be okay with being uncomfortable, because from there you can then become that thing that is beautiful, that we are meant to be. And that's kind of ties into the authenticity of like, don't hold yourself back, but open yourself up.
Well, our next guest is attempting a world record national parks road trip. His mission is to honor his late father. Please welcome Mikah Meyer.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. When I launched that project, in the history of the outdoors recreation industry in America, there had never been an openly LGBTQ plus person in an outdoors ad.
I will embark on a 3-year road trip to become the youngest person to visit all 400 plus units of the National Park System.
If I wanted to be successful in crowdfunding the money that it would take to pull off this parks journey, then my only hope of doing that was to go back in the closet.
Life is too short to delay your dreams.
Try to butch up my voice on radio interviews and not move my hands too much in TV interviews and like be what I thought America wanted to see of an outdoorsman.
You know? And you never, ever, ever stop coming out. Every time that you meet someone, it never goes away. You never stop.
My struggle was not knowing other gay people.
Here I am, and I sent 56 letters out.
It was a long road.
And I just said, there's something I need to tell you.
I told him, I can't do this
Do a
anymore.
lot of work. I'm still not out to my parents.
And she's like, don't tell your father, we'll kill
And
him.
my mom was like, whatever you do, don't tell your grandfather.
I never, ever, ever told anyone about my struggle. Not a soul. No one ever asked me if I was happy. Or no one ever asked me why I was sad. Ever. Maybe that's why I'm so passionate about helping other people find the path. I didn't have a mentor. And I think it would have made my life a lot easier.
I got about a month away from running out of money and quitting. And then one day I got an Instagram message from a kid, and he said, hi, I am 15 years old. I go to a private Baptist school in Texas, and I'm not out of the closet to anyone.
There's no need anymore to go through this journey alone. I'm an advocate for everyone going through the journey. They need mentors to help them get in touch with their feelings and say that feelings are okay. But that's just a huge thing to take on.
And he said, I read about your parks journey, and I just want to thank you because now I know when I grow up, I can be ordinary. Then I found your Instagram, and I see you're setting world records, and now I know when I grow up, I can also be extraordinary. And I just cried. I wept on my smartphone, and I realized that I was doing nothing for that kid. For some reason, hearing it from a kid took me right back to being that 15-year-old. And I realized that if I would come out to be that openly gay outdoorsman for that kid, I could kind of also be that for 15-year-old Mikah.
Mikah decided to start visiting churches along his trip. And as he stepped onto the pulpit, he stepped out on faith, and he began sharing his story.
I don't have to keep doing this forever because there's good people that I've mentored that are going to be able to take this over and carry on, and I might be able to rest at some point. Not just here, but some other place. Just not feel that the whole world is on my shoulders. And that Micah's just going to be fine without me. Tell the people in your life that you love them and that you believe in them. That's what I did with Mikah. I think that's mostly what I did. I believe in you, Mikah, and I'm proud of you. That's it. I think he recognizes how important a man he is. So I think the mantle he's been given, he really can help change the world.
Mikah Meyer is on a mission, and that mission is bringing him through North Mississippi.
And now he's on a brand new adventure running across the state of Minnesota.
Minnesota man is preparing to bike across Oregon as part of a mission to make the outdoors more inclusive.
America is ready to let us be our real selves. We're going to make progress, and we are making progress. And he's got work to do. He has to work.
That was cool. Bouncing around, reverb.
I didn't hit the B5 on the first try, but I also wasn't really warmed up at all. And I skipped 2 verses in there to save us all time.
You're just always so considerate.
I'm such a considerate rafter.
A considerate diva.
I learned from you.
Times and places are all in who you share them with. And it's like the point is enjoying who you share it with. Joy is who you share.
Good morning, Allendale United Methodist. My name is Mikah Meyer, he, him, and it is a pleasure to be here with you all this morning. As you saw in the film, my dad was a preacher. I'm a pastor's kid. Are there any other pastor's kids in attendance today? 1, 2, 3. They're always very slow to raise their hands. I'm not going to make you pray or anything, don't worry. But I'm sure you can relate to this. When you grow up as the son of a preacher man, everybody always asks you, so you going to grow up and be a preacher like your old man? To which I would, of course, emphatically answer, heck no. So he'd be very happy that I'm standing behind the pulpit during the message time today, sharing with you about today's scripture. But as I reflected on that scripture, I thought back to my national parks journey. And what was interesting as I read that story about Herod is that, our human nature is fear. Our human nature is anger. Our human nature is hate. And I learned a lot about that on my national parks journey, because I began my journey in 2016, the 100th anniversary of America's national park system. And so as I traveled the country, news outlets would write about my journey. In fact, it was over 4 media outlets per week on average covered my story, over 1,500 news pieces in all. And right next to the story in the local newspaper about me or on the local news, there was another story about how in 2016, in this election season, we were a divided nation. We were a nation of red states and blue states. We were a nation of rich people and poor people, of rural, of urban, of black and white. You pick the difference. And all anyone could talk about was how different we were, how we were so divided that we would never get along. Which felt really weird for me to hear as I drove to each and every one of those red states and blue states and met those rich and poor people who were in rural and urban areas, and all these differences that I was told made us so different. But I actually realized we had so much more in common than everyone thought. In fact, everyone that I met, regardless of their background, more than anything else in the world, the one thing they wanted was to be loved by those they cared about, and to be able to give them their love in return. Now, the preacher's kid in me would say that this is mankind reaching out, yearning for the love of God, and wanting to feel that love in return as well as give it. And so I think as we look at today's gospel lesson, I want to ask you all, as Christians, are we known for what we love, or are we known for what we hate? I thought about this a lot following my national parks journey, and as I reflected on the thousands and thousands of messages I got from people like that kid in the film who told me that they did not feel welcome in our outdoor and rural and active spaces, that they had left their small town for the safety of a big city where they could be their queer selves freely and safely. And I thought, there's got to be something I can do to help make them feel more welcome in these spaces that I've gotten to enjoy the past 3 years. There's got to be a way that I could make a signal or a symbol that could show them they're welcome. So we've now entered the striptease portion of the sermon. And what you see on my chest is something that I made called the outside safe space symbol, which is meant to be worn by LGBTQ plus people and especially by allies as a way to signal that they are a safe person to LGBTQ plus people, that if somebody saw this symbol on a pin on your backpack while you were in the middle of nowhere hiking, that they would know that they wouldn't have to lie and say that their boyfriend is their brother or something to feel safe around you. They could see this symbol and instantly know that they can be their true, authentic selves with you in this place that has historically been less welcoming. And in the symbol, there's the rainbow flag, the bi flag, the trans flag. The tree trunk is made up of all different racial skin tones to show that all identities and orientations come in every race and ethnicity. And the design of the tree comes from the rainbow trees of Haleakala National Park on Maui, which are named as such because when the bark falls off, it reveals colors of red, orange, yellow, and green. And for anyone who doesn't feel represented by those flags, the entire tree is made up out of triangles, which is a traditional symbol of the LGBTQ plus community and the original safe space symbol that some teachers will use on their office doors is an upside-down pink triangle with a green circle around it. I'm happy to share with you that I launched this symbol 5 years ago by running across the state of Minnesota. And since then, we have sold over 107,000 symbols in America that are out there right now being worn. By the end of last fall, every single one of the 194 REI stores around the country is now selling our Outside Safe Space stickers and pins to help more people wear this symbol. Unfortunately, after getting in over 50 national park gift shops on December 19th, the items were all pulled from the shelves and banned from national park gift shops because they promote gender ideology. So, yes. But if you would like one, you don't have to go to REI. We have brought them for you here today. You can get a pin or a sticker or a patch or a magnet or a keychain or a hat, or anytime anybody says, Micah, I would wear this symbol, if you just put it on blank, I make it. So if you want one of those, you can go back to the table on the back and pick one of those up for yourself or as a gift for somebody who you know who loves the outdoors or who's LGBTQ+, or an ally, as that's who it was most made for. I'm here with you in St. Pete today for a number of reasons. The first being that when I left my dad's ministry in Lincoln, Nebraska, where pretty much everybody is Catholic or Lutheran, I went to the University of Memphis for college, and I said, where's the Lutheran campus ministry? And they said, what's a Lutheran? So naturally, I ended up at the United Methodist Church Wesley Foundation, where I became the president of the Wesley Foundation and was living in the church as its caretaker when I came out of the closet to my pastor, whose last name was Allen. So it feels kind of fitting to be here with you all today. I'm also in town because just by happenstance, one of Larry's very good friends lives here and invited Larry down for New Year's. And I said, well, I want to hang out with Larry too. He had to go home last night to work at his church, but we do have some of his friends here with us today. And actually, Dean, who you saw in the film, is a new resident of the St. Pete's area, and he is back there at the table. So Dean, give him a wave. So feel free to go harass Dean. He's new, he needs friends, gentleman friends, and he doesn't have a church home yet. So feel free to talk to Dean all you'd like. But if you would like to watch Canyon Chorus again or share it with anyone, maybe an LGBTQ+ youth or a queer religious person, or maybe your homophobic relative, I've made postcards, and it says on here, one of the best outdoor films of the year, because Canyon Chorus was voted that and toured the world in 2025 with the Banff World Tour. So you can, thank you, you can take as many of these postcards as you want. I have thousands. I don't want to fly home with them. On the back, there are Canyon Chorus Mad Libs, so you can put your favorite adjective or painter or automatopoeia to share with folks that they should watch this film. We have postcard stamps back there if you want to send them out right now, but these are free. Please come take as many as you want. And if you want to see a map of my national parks journey, I've got little cards back there that have that as well. That'll take you to my website, where you can also watch Canyon Chorus for free and see a 3.5-minute video about my favorite National Park Service site, the one that I think you should go to next time you need a vacation. So all that is back there, and all those cards are free. I'll actually be back here in the St. Petersburg area on February 6th, because one of the Film Festival film tours is showing Canyon Chorus at the St. Pete Beach Theater. St. Pete Beach Theater, say that 5 times fast. Which is really great, because one of the missions of Canyon Chorus was to trick straight people into watching a story that teaches them empathy for queer people. And so we specifically made this film to try to get on these outdoor film tours that go to these audiences in places like Kansas and Montana and West Virginia. And it's the third film that plays usually, so by then they're already locked in their seats, they're trapped, and they can't walk out. So it's coming to Florida on February 6th for the Wild and Scenic Film Tour. So if you know anybody who needs to be tricked into watching this film, tell them it's the best outdoor films of the year playing, and they'll be stuck in the seat and won't be able to get out too. But mostly, as I leave you today and send you out into Florida, out into God's world, I want to have you take a piece of God's house with you. Take a piece of love with you, and ask yourself what you can do in a world that too often reverts to our human nature of fear, of hate, and of anger. What you can do to help world feel and know and act on God's love. To build a world where we as Christians are known not for what we hate, but for what we love. If you're curious, you do have a National Park Service site very close to you. The DeSoto National Memorial is your closest of those 400+ National Park Service sites, but one that I really love is the Martin Luther King Jr. National Memorial, and that is in Washington, D.C. And engraved in the stone there is a quote from his and it says, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." So I invite you, as you leave the service today, to go out into a world that is starving for love and let them know that you are a Christian by your... Amen.